everybody, it's Brian Douglas with Cream City Music, and I'm here with Paul Van Dame from Fender Guitars. It's the 2019 NAMM show. We're really excited for this opportunity to share with everyone what Fender's doing this year. There are some really exciting instruments, a lot of cool things happening. American performers just come out, and it's really knocking our socks off. The Fender Acoustasonic Telecaster is out there, the Jimmy Page Telecaster. I mean, it goes on and on. The rarities, the alternate reality stuff. We're going to take you through the whole booth and check out every little bit of it. So I'm going to turn it over to my friend Paul here. Paul, tell us a little bit about what's happening with the American Performer Series. What was Fender thinking of this one?
Well, one of the things that Fender has always been very famous for is catering to the needs of our consumer. And our consumer wanted a really fabulous guitar made in USA that they could get for a very reasonable price point. Some of you may remember the American Special guitar. That was end of life, or discontinued at the end of last year. And it was replaced not with some kind of clone with more colors, but with a totally new guitar known as American Performer. Performer kind of explains what the purpose of the guitar is. This is when you go beyond the Player Series, which is below $1,000, and now move into a guitar that you would perform with that is right around that $1,000 price point. Previously, the American Special was only Telecaster and Stratocaster, and I think now you're going to see some really exciting additions to the American Performer line. So let's go ahead and sweep around and look at some of these great new colors and great new features. I will say that the American Performer is based on 3 new colors. It's going to be the Yosemite pickups, the classic ear tuners, and the new colors and the new finishes. So let's take a look. The Mustang has been added to the line. This is really, it looks like a historic recreation of the Mustang, which it is in terms of its scale and its functionality. But the trem has been improved, the arm has been improved. We've brought all the kinds of improvements that weren't going to impede upon what you expect from this guitar. It just makes it a better guitar. In fact, I would say that it performs better. See what I just did? See what I just did? I want to draw your attention to the bass in a new color called aubergine, which is harder to pronounce than it is to appreciate. Aubergine is just such a beautiful color, and I'm glad that we're capturing it on video, because it just doesn't do it justice to see it in a catalog. So that is aubergine. People really like that color.
One of the coolest new basses from Fender, without a doubt. I'm a bass player, so I'm a little bit biased here, but one of the things that we noted, we did a tone check video demo of this that you can check out on our YouTube channel. Something that's very cool. This is a powerful sounding little beast. There's nothing thin or weedy. This is meaty, it's easy to play, and it really lends itself to a killer rock and punk tone, but unsurprisingly, dial it back a little bit and get the fingers out, and you're really getting something that's deep and rich and just has a very fluid feel, great sound. This is my favorite pick. Obviously, I'm biased out of the whole new Fender American Performer collection because it adds something that people have not had access to for some time in an American-built short scale Fender. Very cool.
I wanted to add one thing, Brian, which is what we have found is that guitar players love the Mustang bass because it's a 30-inch scale, and it just feels really familiar to a guitar player. So you guitar players out there that are kind of on the fence about, you know, dealing with a big lumbering P bass or jazz bass, this is something that's just going to feel really good. So if you ever want to cross over into a bass for home recording or for whatever your purposes might be, check out the Mustang bass.
Most definitely. Okay, so we're here, 2019 NAMM in the Fender booth, showing you one of the most hotly anticipated pieces that rumors had been sneaking around about. We've got the Fender Jimmy Page Telecaster here. This is the exquisitely made Ensenada, Mexico addition to the family. And this graphic, Paul, tell us about what I'm looking at here.
This is a graphic that Jimmy Page did when he was in the Yardbirds, you know, out on tour, bored out of his mind. It was very popular to sand down your guitar and kind of personalize it. And he did this graphic around 1965 This is the Telecaster that Jeff Beck gave to Jimmy Page as a 59 top loader Telecaster. And then Jimmy, just like the Beatles did and other famous bands did, kind of customized and personalized the guitar with this very unique pick guard, all standard electronics. So this is going to behave and perform just like a Telecaster, but it has this wonderful vibe, and the Jimmy Page logo on the back of the headstock gives you the bragging rights and reminds you that you're not just playing some run-of-the-mill, you know, electric guitar. You're playing a Jimmy Page Telecaster.
Yeah, and I mean this is supremely cool. Now we're going to have a lot of these at Cream City Music as soon as they're available for pre-order. Get yours, creamcitymusic.com. Just so excited. This is one of the coolest pieces that we've seen Fender release in some time. And I just say, wow, Paul, do we have a release date yet?
Well, we're going to ask you to stay tuned. This is going to be a couple of months in the future. There are a lot of products that Fender is coming out with. We want to make sure that these are available for you when it launches, which I believe is end of the quarter. So stay tuned. Cream City Music.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page Graphic Telecaster.
Supremely awesome.
Take a look at is the Jimmy Page Mirror Telecaster, which is made at the Corona plant in California, right over here. You can see the mirrors are actually installed on the guitar. This is a guitar that that has a USA price point, as you would expect. $24.99.99 map on the internet. It's based on a 1959 guitar, which is what Jimmy Page got from Jeff Beck. It's kind of an interesting story. Jimmy got the guitar from Jeff when Jeff took over the Yardbirds, and Jimmy continued to use that guitar, and that guitar became that guitar. So that's the evolution of the guitar. That's the way he got it. And for a brief period of time, you can come and see the mirror aspect of it. Guys, these don't ship on the guitar, in case you were worrying. They come in the case, so you can put them on the guitar if you like. What Brian is holding right here is the same pattern that Jimmy had. We went back and looked at historic photographs, and this is what Jimmy had done on the guitar. So if you wanted to recreate his guitar from that period, you would add the mirrors. But do so at your own risk, because this is a nice nitrocellulose finish, and if you ever wanted to take them off, we're out. Okay? But this is what the guitar looks like completely dressed out. Otherwise, these mirrors will come in the map pocket of the case.
Yeah, very, very cool. And release date for these?
A couple months in the future. Stay tuned. Cream City Music is there, devoted to having these guitars in stock.
Again, want to reiterate that. Stay tuned. We are going to have a lot of these in stock. CreamCityMusic.com. We are your place to get your Jimmy Page Telecaster. Paul, I'm going to hang this back up. I really want to check out the alternate reality series.
Let's go there.
Let's go.
Right this way, guys. Some of you may remember our Parallel Universe guitars from 2018. This is kind of the flip side of that record. Those guitars were made in USA, and these were made in our wonderful Ensenada plant in Mexico at a price point about half. And you see the interesting display here to give you that alternate reality kind of look for our booth. But believe me, these are not novelty guitars. These are guitars that you can take onto the stage and in the studio, create music. They're just fun to have. That's the new Meteora body styles that premiered with the Parallel Universe guitar. And now we're offering this in colors, humbucking pickups.
So how many colors for the Meteora?
There's 3 different colors for the Meteora. And stay tuned for more about the Meteora.
Yeah.
These are going to be released month by month. So
all throughout 2019, they're going to be trickling out. Cream City Music's going to have the entire alternate reality series in all of the colors. So again, will be available for pre-order as soon as we're allowed to have them up. And I got to say, Meteora was one of the hot tickets last year. So the opportunity to bring more styles and colors into it, really, really very cool. All right, so now we're going to check out something that I think is really, really cool. The Rarities collection from Fender. These are such interesting pieces, such cool craftsmanship, exotic woods, exotic vibes all around. I'm going to reach back and grab one that caught my eye right away. Paul, tell us about this.
Well, this is the quilt top Telecaster, which kind of speaks for itself. Beautiful hand-selected rare woods. This is the kind of guitar that you're going to want to play and love and keep, and it's really heirloom quality. They're only being made this year. They're released as the Ultimate Reality guitars are, one a month. Stay tuned. Cream City Music. You're going to see them there.
Yeah, we're going to have every last one of these in stock. Quantities are limited, so when we've got our pre-orders available, you want to make sure you score yours. Visit us, creamcitymusic.com. Love this. What is this finish called?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but I believe it's teal.
Blue Cloud Burst, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Cloud
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Thank you, Brian.
No problem. I'm going to grab another one that's really moving me.
This is kind of special, kids. If you squint, you're going to see an F-hole here. This is a completely hollow design. For those of you who are following Fender very closely, you saw this for the first time last year with the Eric Johnson guitar. This is a marvel of engineering here, the way that Fender was able to get this entire guitar to be a hollow guitar right up to the edges. This is not chambered, this is an actual hollow body inline guitar. Humbucker in the neck. You've got the ability to do all kinds of tricks with your S1 switch, 5-position toggle. Beautiful rosewood finger neck. Can we show that, Brian? Flip that around. That's a solid rosewood neck on this guitar. The beautiful, tuners that you'd find on the high-end Fenders. This particular finish.
The violin burst.
Yeah. So it lends itself very nicely to the F-hole.
Yeah.
Great sounding guitar. This is going to sound just like a Stratocaster with a halo of acoustic tone around the sound. I borrowed that from a friend, and I thought that was the best. Greg Hawk.
Yeah.
That's what this gives you.
The halo of acoustic tone.
Yeah, it's a Stratocaster with just the halo of the acoustic around it. So check that out.
Awesome. All right, so we're here for what I think is one of these crown jewel moments in terms of Fender guitar history. The Acoustasonic Telecaster was just released to a lot of critical acclaim fanfare. Just an absolutely incredible instrument. We've been fortunate enough to get our hands on one early. You can check out our tone check episode where we run the guitar through its paces. Very, very cool, up on our YouTube channel. And so I'm going to hand it over to Paul. Paul, tell us what the story of the Acoustasonic Telecaster is. How did this come to be?
Well, I think that all musicians have been looking for what I like to kind of playfully call the Swiss Army knife, a guitar that they're going to be able to create acoustic and electric tones with. We've seen all kinds of variations in the past, going all the way back to the 80s, when you'd even take a heavy metal guitar and just put a hollow body on it, and all of a sudden it's an acoustic electric. We've blown all that away to the cave area and have now brought in Tim Shaw, Larry Fishman, all of the intellectual property and resources that we have here at Fender to create a guitar that is not an electric guitar that can also do acoustic sound. This is an acoustic guitar that you can also do electric sounds with. We wanted to house it in a traditionally sized and shaped Telecaster design. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guitar. It's something that's really kind of unique. You'll notice the sound hole, which Fender calls a sound port, and the two simple controls. It looks like a volume and a tone. Well, the first one is a volume, just as you would expect. The second one is called a modification knob. And the modification knob is going to take you from one world of tone to another world of tone. that is all accessible through your 5-position toggle. Let's take a closer look. Brian, I'm going to hand this to you, and I'm going to ask you to give our audience your first impressions. First of all, is it heavy or light?
No, this is such a light guitar. Now again, I had the good fortune to play this prior to release, and I've got to say, it's lightweight, it feels great, and I mean that sincerely. But what's so cool about this particular instrument is it brings out that playing ability. As many of you know who are watching this, sometimes you pick up an instrument and it just brings something out of you. It inspires you to play. You're able to play better than you normally would. This is a guitar you're not fighting. This is a guitar that just feels right in every way. So again, in terms of just whether you're on the couch or you're on the stage or you're jamming at practice with your buddies, it's perfection.
It feels natural. I think is what
very
Brian is saying much better than how I just characterized it. And we wanted to use all natural materials, of course. This is a organic instrument.
Very much.
So you've got a spruce top. Go ahead and show us the back for a moment. Mahogany back and neck. And then notice the nice cutaway here, so you can get all access. This is an electric guitar that you would be able to charge with a charger. 4 hours of charge gives you 20 hours of plugged-in playing time, which is really great to know. Ebony bridge, ebony fingerboard, and beyond that, it's just an ebony knobs. It's the same kind of simplicity that you would expect from a Fender instrument. But when you start diving into these 5 different toggles, this is deceptively simple looking, folks. Because this modification knob, we didn't call it that just because we wanted to bring something new to what that knob. That's not a tone knob. If you must, this is a tone knob on several steroids. Because when you go back and forth with this knob, this is not just a knob that spins. This is going to take you from one world of sound, depending on what position you're in, to another world of sound. And you've really got to experience for yourself. But I must tell you, this has been the most popular thing at the booth. This NAMM. 5 colors. You're looking at surf green, but this isn't the kind of garish, very surfy looking surf green that you see in a 57 reissue Strat. This is a nice muted kind of pastel surf green, and this has been very popular. The other colors are a bit more, I'll start with the more traditional colors. You've got natural, of course, and we can show people inserts. Natural, black, sunburst, surf green, and sonic gray, which again is kind of a muted pastel version of sonic gray. You got to get your hands on this. I could sit here and flap my lips for another 20 minutes. You got to try this.
I'm just going to share one little tidbit that struck me so deeply about this guitar. It's the simplicity of it. The 5-position selector is somebody's best friend. Any of us who played guitar even a little bit, who've held a Stratocaster, which was my first guitar, we just know where we're headed with a 5-position selector switch. To then be able to carry all of the different voices within the single A-B mod knob here. This mod knob, which gives you either 2 distinct tones or a blend all in between to create something entirely unique. It's so easy to get great sounds out of this guitar. It's going to be great for recording, live, jamming at home, and something not to be overlooked. The acoustic properties of it, in terms of just playing it clean, by yourself, not plugged in, still very, very entertaining. As a matter of fact, I actually found it a little bit more enjoyable than just playing my regular telly on the couch unplugged. So just so cool. We've got these all in stock. We're going to have them all year long. You can get them from us, creamcitymusic.com. Check them out. Do not sleep on these.
Thank you, Brian. The tagline for this guitar, I'm really glad that Brian talked about all the different values in between one side of the modification knob and the other side of the modification knob, one being called A, the other two called B, just the sweep. But the magic is not only in those great endpoints, but everything in between, to the point that the byline for this guitar is acoustic, electric, and everything in between. Because there is a world of different sounds. You'd be amazed at how dynamic when you play one of these guitars the modification knob is. Check it.